Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates.
Rahul Gandhi is in London and he spoke about how India's voice is getting stifled because of ideology, technology, and institutional framework. Calling the CBI and ED a part of the deep state, Rahul Gandhi said that these two institutions are being used by the government to cut down on dissent. He said that the BJP is pouring kerosene all over the country. One spark and everything would go up in flames.
There is a systematic attack on the institutions that allow the conversation to take place. There is a crushing effect on all these institutions. There is an attack on the constitution. There is an attack on the election system. There is an attack on the broad institutional framework of the country. And the result is that India is no longer, the states of India are no longer able to negotiate. They're no longer able to talk. And that space that used to be the space of conversation, that used to be the space of negotiation, is being occupied by the deep state, by the institutions of the state that control the state. The CBI, the ED, that's what's happening. Right? And our job as the Congress who actually help build that structure, help build that negotiation framework. Our job, and not just our job, the job of the opposition, is to defend that conversation, to make sure that the structures of that conversation, the constitution, the institutions, are not captured by the RSS by one idea, but they are accessible to all the states. That's really the battle. And if you want to take it to the crux, we believe India is a negotiation between its people. We believe India is its people. The BJP and the RSS believe that it is a geography, that it is a Sone ki Chiriya, whose benefits should be distributed according to the karma of its people. We believe that the benefits of the negotiation should be distributed equally to everybody, regardless of what their karma is. If you're a Dalit, if you're an upper caste, if you're a Sikh, if you're a Hindu, if you're a Muslim, we believe that you should all have equal access. They believe that the access should not be equal. Certain groups of people should get more benefit from the Sone ki Chiriya, and other people should get less and less benefits from the Sone ki Chiriya, and the poorest Dalit should not get nothing. That's the real conflict that's taking place. And I would say that from the soul of India comes the voice of India. Right? And a soul without a voice means nothing. And what has happened is that India's voice has been crushed. It has been crushed by an ideology. It is crushed by the way technology has moved. It has been crushed by the institutional framework of our country itself, which has become parasitic. Right? So the deep state, the CBI, the ED, the stuff that is hidden is now chewing the Indian state. It's eating the Indian state. Much like what happened in Pakistan. The institutional structure of the Indian state, which has been captured by an organization. Right? Which means the only way for us, we will get no respite from the institutional framework of government. The only way for us is to go to the large mass of the Indian people. And that's not just the Congress, that's all opposition parties. Right? And so what the Congress basically is structuring, as far as Udaipur is concerned, is that transition. How does the Congress party now go back to its roots and start moving into mass action. Right? So that is what was discussed. The central elements of that, BJP has 100% control of media, control of communication, control of those processes. They have broad control of the institutional framework. So we have to think about communication. We will not be able to match the funds they have, but we have to think of communication in a completely new way. We have to think of funding in a completely new way. And we have to think about an organizational system that is much closer to the large mass of people. And we also have to think of large-scale mass movements on issues like unemployment, on issues like crisis, on regional issues. And we have to coordinate with our friends in the opposition. So I don't view the Congress as the big daddy. It is a group effort with the opposition, but it is a fight to regain India.
But the Congress party is not free from criticism. There have been defections and concerns about the leadership and the vision of the party. Gandhi said that Congress should not be looked at as a big daddy, but it is part of a coalition of several other parties that constitute the opposition, and together they need to work towards regaining that trust and that space in politics of India. He also said that it's time now for Congress to go back to its roots and try to move towards a mass action. The war between the Congress and the BJP is ideological, and he said this cannot be fought on regional levels but has to be taken up at a national level, and the Congress party is poised to do this really well within the UPA. But it cannot be done by the Congress alone, and it needs to be a collective effort with all the other parties. Rahul Gandhi spoke pretty eloquently on several topics. He raised the issue of unemployment, of increasing production, of the high inflation in the country. He also spoke about border disputes and about how India could leverage its position on a global scale. But all these would just be words if they are not translated into action. And so the key here is for the Congress to be able to communicate this vision to the public and to see that translate into electoral support and a win in the next elections. This is Ruhi Khan for Mojo's Story in London.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo's Story and support independent, robust journalism.